Welcome back to the BC Show. I'm Ben, and this is episode 3, and we appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you to everyone that's watched, liked, shared, or commented so far. Everything's moving along okay so far. So, again, we're growing. We're continue to get better as we do everything, as I just stumbled there, but that's okay. I'm not going to edit that out. That's just what we're doing. I want to say a huge thank you to all our sponsors that make this show possible. Today we'll be highlighting Triumph Glass, and we'll talk a little bit about Napolis. They're both our sponsors. And we got a special guest today. We're bringing in Grady. He's joining us from Triumph Glass, and we're going to be talking sports, fantasy football, Cowboys football, a little bit of something for Father's Day, business, and here's some stories from this year's run in a successful company. Let's get this rolling. Hit it.
Welcome to the BC Show, hosted by Ben Chapman.
Boom, 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 bop, bam. Bing, bop, bing, bop, bing, bop, bing, bop, bing, bop, boom,
Yeah.
boom, bop, bam.
Okay.
Bam, boom, bop, bam.
This what we doing?
Bop, boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
Bang,
yeah!
And welcome back to the BC Show here with our first guest ever, Grady King. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. I feel honored to be here as your first guest, man. This is awesome.
That's what I was thinking. I'm just smiling because we've just been laughing the whole time. Well, I don't know what I'm doing, and I was supposed to go by this script, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But let's just dive right into it. Today we're going to talk about we're going to start off at fantasy football. We know that I'm probably the best around this whole entire Metroplex.
I agree.
I'm just playing on that.
I agree.
So we did have some questions about people building teams.
Okay.
How do you build a team? Like literally when you start, let's just do a year-to-year draft, not a keeper league.
Okay.
How do you do that?
How do I build a team? Like, you expect me to give that my secrets out here on this podcast?
Well, I'm trying to dig right now, so I can
Oh,
take notes.
Okay. Building a team. Well, my first, what I find very, very important if you're getting into fantasy football, because actually a lot of people, I talk about fantasy football to a lot of people. Some people are veterans and they've been doing it for a long time, and some people are new. The key to fantasy football is before you get into a league, understand the rules of that league, the scoring of that league, because it changes. I mean, how many players you have at certain positions, whether it's a one quarterback, two quarterback, how many receivers you have, what the flex position, what you can put in there, and then the scoring on, especially the quarterbacks. Do quarterbacks get 6 points for passing and rushing, or do they only get 4 points for passing, 6 points for rushing? Those little details make a huge difference. And so if you go into a draft blind, not really understanding the rules, man, it can cost you in the end. You may get a good player, but he may not fit that league and its scoring. So I think that's a huge thing. What about you?
Oh, I agree. I mean, that's one thing I used to not really look at is the scoring of other things. I've done that so many times.
When you say not, you should look at like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah,
or
pretty
5 minutes
much.
ago. You
Pretty
just
much.
decided to change
Just
it?
like I'm in with Grady. I don't even know. I think I have 9 teams, and I'm in league with him at least 6 or 7 of them.
Well, it used to be, man. I've actually narrowed it down the
Yeah.
last few years to 2 or 3 leagues. It gets too many for me if we have
It does.
6 or 7.
It's overwhelming
Yeah,
and
it's
not as
overwhelming.
fun.
You can't keep up with it. So the last few years, I have tried to downsize a little bit on how many teams. But yeah, my first fantasy football league I was ever in, you were in it with a friend of ours, Jeff Silva.
Oh,
he
Jeff
invited
Silva.
me.
I forgot about that.
I remember meeting him one night. We were at church one night, and he was telling me he needed a player for his league. And
The Saturday night churches?
yes,
Okay,
yeah, it
gotcha.
was.
Yeah,
It
those
was
are awesome,
a late
man.
night revival they
Yeah.
were having.
Oh, I remember. I've played at those a few times,
and so
too.
you left a little early, but
Always.
we went. He was telling me about it, and he needed a player in his team. I said, man, I've never played fantasy football. Oh man, it's easy. Blah blah blah. And basically, I just asked him. I said, what's the buy-in? He told me how much. I said, what can I win? He told me. I said, okay, I'll do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was pay $100, and maybe the winner was $120 or $1,200 was the winner, and that's how I got into it, and I really do like it. I find it interesting. That first year that I played, man, I was watching football games that I would never watch normally. So it's no surprise that
And
the
rooting
NFL
for players that you
Oh
didn't
my
necessarily
gosh!
like,
Yeah, I
right?
remember watching like an
It's so
Eagles-Packer game on a Sunday Night Football that I would have never watched. But it's no surprise that the NFL is behind this so much because, I mean, think
Yeah.
of all the eyeballs that it brings to to their games, and it's no wonder that their value is just shot through the roof.
Exactly.
That's my number one. If I'm drafting a team, that's my first thing that I look at is the scoring. Once you get into that, I have certain things that I like to look at. Probably my number one rule, especially in a one quarterback league, and I broke this last year. I broke my own rule in one league last year, and it cost me. Is, and Ben will tell you this, I will always be the last person to draft a quarterback.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. It's no secret. I'm not telling anything here, but
Yeah.
I will take a quarterback I'll take usually two quarterbacks in the last 3 or 4 rounds. Back to back, usually people that, and usually at the end of those drafts, we'll look at a draft board because we always do usually an in-person draft, which is a lot of fun. If you haven't done an in-person draft, I suggest you do that.
It's the best way to go.
It is the best way to go. It's fun. But usually at the end of those drafts, Ben will go, how did you get those two guys at that, that late? And that's just one of my things that I always do, is do quarterbacks late. Last year in one league I was in, and I got Joe Burrow early, and sure enough, he gets hurt second game of the season.
That's how that goes.
And he cost my whole league. So, I probably won't do that again. But other than that, another thing, I like running backs early. I like to do that.
Because they're scarce later on.
Man,
they run out.
They do run out. And, what I found, especially the last 2 years, there are way more receivers drafted in the first 2 rounds the last 5 years, I would say, than there were 10 years ago.
Exactly.
When I first started, which was probably 15 years ago, man, the first round would be just about all running backs. But I still believe that, those running backs may not get you those huge 50-point games like Jamar Chase or Puka will get you, or any receiver, CD, JSN. But, man, if you don't have at least a capable running back, he'll get you beat. Not having a running back that can get you 15 to 20 points a week will get you beat. It doesn't matter if you have Jamar Chase with 50.
Absolutely.
If you got 2 running backs that get you 3 points, it doesn't matter.
I think last year was a 12-person league. I think there was 2 of them where I didn't draft a running back till around the 5th round, and it may have been the 4th or 5th, but it was kind of a reach. It was Swift, but he ended up having a good year.
Season.
I got lucky, but I was panicking because normally for me, I'll try to get the first 2 rounds. I've always been pretty big on it. You don't want to overlook a person that's fallen for value, of course. I've always tried to grab a running back and a receiver in no order either. I'd always want to have 1 and 1 normally, and I've kind of broke that rule the last 2 or 3 years where I did grab a quarterback in the 2nd round, which was always Josh Allen or Lamar, who can't score me jack crap points in the playoffs last year, cost me. But, Allen's a big win every now and then, but you don't have to reach for those quarterbacks like Grady said. You can find them later, and we could like to call them somebody left the gold later on.
They do, They left me lots of gold. But like Josh Allen, though, you take a player like Josh Allen, he can win you weeks by himself.
Yep.
He will win you weeks.
Throw those 50, 60 burgers up.
Yeah, he will. He definitely will. And, I think another thing on fantasy football, especially if you're getting into it and you're new to it, man, get players you like cheering for.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Because really, at the end of the day, man, there's a lot of luck involved. There's so much luck. And, one of my rules of thumb, and we discuss this all the time, is just get to the playoffs. In fantasy football especially, just get to the playoffs. It really, if you can get a first-round bye, that 1 seed or that 2 seed.
You want the top 2.
That's huge. But other than that, just get to the playoffs. Because once the playoffs start, it is just
how many 5, 6 seeds have we seen win the championship the last 5 years? Yeah,
except for Jeff Silva. He's never won one.
Yeah, he's always in
Southlake.
Southlake's always the big winner. None of us are invited to that league because that's top notch over there.
It is.
We're not allowed in that league.
Very secret.
So we like to stay around this area with our league.
Poor side of town.
Exactly. But there was one year instead of most leagues we have the top 6 out of 10 or top 6 out of 12 go.
Yeah.
One year we played in one league. It had 8 teams.
8 out of 12.
Number 8 went.
Yeah, and it won.
Number 8 won.
Actually, I do remember that. That was a few years ago. I was the number 1 seed, and I got beat by number 8. By the 8
You should have had a bye.
But it should have had a bye, and it's.
That's some bad memories right there.
Yeah, that is. But fantasy football. Yeah, just get to the playoffs, man. Especially if you're new, just get to the playoffs because once the playoffs start, you may have that guy as your flex that you picked up on waivers that week. And he drops 38 points, and you win.
Yep.
It's hard to beat
Yep.
Guys start getting into 35, 40, 45 points. It's hard to beat a team that has that
absolutely.
guy.
And you have to be active on the waiver wire.
You have to be.
Grady's on there nonstop. I'll tell you that right now. And honestly, me and Grady kind of draft similar sometimes,
Very.
a lot. So I know if I'm looking for somebody that round is available, I've got to see where Grady's at, because normally we pinpoint people at the same time almost every year, like clockwork. But that's okay. It doesn't bother me. And there's a handful of people I always call late in the year checking on something. It's either Grady or my other buddy Scott. We don't. I don't. We do this. We don't always check around with a lot of people, but I definitely check with these two guys because I love listening to what they have to say, and I value it tremendously. I don't call our buddy Jeff. We're calling him out on this one. We don't always call him because he's going to tell me to go left when we should go right.
Exactly.
That's exactly what he does.
Exactly.
He's the Cobra, man. You got to stay away from that guy in fantasy football.
Yeah.
But again, that's South Lake League.
But
Too,
but that friend Jeff, he thinks he's outsmarting everybody. But he's just one of these guys. He's so far behind in the race, he actually thinks he's winning. He's that guy. So,
oh
but
God.
you know,
that's
it happens.
greatness. I didn't even mean to say that. I'm just laughing my butt off right now talking about Jeff.
So I have some
man.
fantasy football questions for you.
Oh, here we go.
In the past, so what was your best draft pick of all time?
Best draft
Like
pick.
that you can remember, man, this player took me to the championship.
Man, I don't even know off the top of my head. It was probably, God, I can't even remember. I haven't won in a couple of years. Josh Allen carried me 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He really did. There was 2 years ago, and every week it was a 50 or 60, and then he went on a stretch where he had 10 or 12. But off the top of my head, I think Josh Allen was one of those guys, and that was a couple of years ago.
See, I think in talking about that, like players that, you know, your best pick of all time, and this is another thing for people that don't play a lot of fantasy football or get into it. If you can ask a lot of people who was their best draft pick of all time or best pickup or whatever, very rarely is it going to be a first-round pick.
Oh, absolutely.
It is these guys that you find either gold at the end of a draft, but the majority of them are waiver wire. And I actually have two of these players that I can remember specifically through the years, and I had them in both of these players. I had in every league I played in because I picked them up in the waiver wire. One was Odell Beckham, his rookie year.
Oh, yeah.
He got hurt. He got hurt in training camp, and he didn't play for the first 5 or 6 games. And I remember picking him up his rookie season 2 or 3 weeks before he was supposed to come back. That's another little tidbit if you want to know a secret. If there's a guy you got an eye on a waiver wire, get him a little earlier.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to go into the bidding process.
Exactly.
Just go ahead and pick him up. Odell Beckham was one, and man, I'm drawing a blank.
I know.
Josh.
Gordon?
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon,
for Cleveland.
yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
that dude.
That one year he
If
did
you
carry me
go
too.
there, he had probably a 10-game stretch from the middle of the season through the fantasy playoffs. That if you go back and look at that, if you had Josh Gordon on your team,
Yep.
you couldn't be beat. I mean, what a waste of talent. I mean,
Oh,
that poor
absolutely.
guy. You know,
Last year for me, it was actually, now that I think about it, it was a late round pick later. No, I actually got him off the waiver wire. Rico Dowdle.
Oh,
my God,
huge.
he carried. I had him in probably 5 of my 8 teams.
Yes.
And I was carrying into the playoffs with him because, like I said, my running back depth last year, I didn't draft him early like I normally did, and like I said, it went scarce. But Rico Dowdle carried me, and a lot of he's gonna, he'll be, where's he at? Pittsburgh this year.
Pittsburgh. He
Got to
went
do
to
pretty
Pittsburgh.
good.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little bit into our fantasy right there, but like I said, we play with Grady all the time. We actually had a draft the other night. We have a keeper league he brought me into a couple years ago, 3 years ago now, and we do our rookie draft, so we get to keep everybody. And man, that was 5 rounds of that, and mine was on auto draft because some reason I was in Mexico. I don't know if I was going. I had to go meet the cartel or something. I don't know. I was doing something.
You had to
there.
pay for this.
Yeah, I had. Got to brought my mules back and everything. I had to do it, man. But we had a draft the other day, and I think I ended up with 4 or 5 defensive players. We played defensive players. We play either 2 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 2 defensive backs.
But that's not a recipe for success.
No,
it's
it's
drafting
not.
a bunch of defensive players. And, in that same keeper league, if you do play fantasy football, I do think, man, get you in a dynasty league or a keeper league like that that's kind of a year-round. I mean, it goes year-round. It helps.
fun.
It helps redraft leagues.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the position, the depth charts on just about every
Exactly.
team at every position.
Yeah, you have to
And
on these
you
because
have
these
to.
rosters are deep. I
Yeah.
mean, in ours, I think we have 30-man roster.
Yeah, it's like a 30-man roster.
and that's with defensive players. And now we have to keep up with who's getting points at linebacker, defensive lineman. Those are not so easy. Like I have one guy who could actually be good at defensive back, which is Travis Hunter, who can get the offensive points. I think he stays on the defense this year. I don't really know, but I drafted him 2nd overall last year, which He had one good game at the very end of the year, and then he's out for the year. But that's okay. And then so what do? I'll go draft nothing but defensive players this year. They're not going to win me the championship, but again, it was on auto draft, so it is what it is.
That 12-man league went to 11 after this draft. Went to an 11-man league because Ben's team is so bad.
Actually, me and Grady played in the championship this last year, so it can't be that bad.
We did. How'd that work out?
It worked out that I had, I think, 6 guys on the DL, if I recall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or the IR.
So who won that game?
I can't remember. I got to look it up. I don't know. Grady, yeah, he kind of got me on that one.
I won that
You actually
game.
had a guy that did really well in that game, too. I cannot remember who it was, but you had one guy. Our guy, we actually both had really bad games.
We did.
And you had one guy. I knew I was going to lose. Was
Puka?
God, yeah, he wasn't at the bar on that game, so he did good on that.
He did good on that one. But, in talking about like dynasty leagues or keeper leagues, Puka, it's a 5-round draft, a rookie draft. So this draft happens usually a week after the NFL draft.
Right after.
And so it's a 5-round draft, and you have that. I got Puka with the very last pick of the draft, whenever he came out.
That's
2 or
great.
3 years ago.
And honestly, I didn't even know who he was, to be honest with you. I don't follow the rookies like I should sometimes, like later rounds like I used to. And this year, even when this draft, it was on auto draft, I didn't even go back and set it because I'm not going to lie. I'm like 5 guys deep on this draft. I have no idea this year. This one was kind of weird to me. Now I know. Now I'm ready after I went through this. Finally, right? Now I saw who did. I actually looked up Grady to see who he took, so I had to. I'm like, okay, at least I'm just going to prep me for my other leagues later in the year, my dynasty leagues that I'm in. With the those other leagues I'm in, I'm with the guy, the league.
The league. He
plays. Scott, who's got, 34 teams
34 leagues, 32 of them are a church league with old ladies.
That's right.
He brags about it because
he wins.
Makes it to the finals.
That's right. I think there's 6 people per league, so he loads up his team.
Ethel. He beat Ethel last year in that one.
Ethel.
I know that.
Oh, Ethel. Ethel, man, everybody likes her.
So who is a player that you will never draft again?
Oh, man, for me, it's currently it's Lamar Jackson. I'm over him from last year.
It's funny how that works, though. You get one year on somebody can leave a bad taste in your mouth. I actually discussed this with my wife before we came up here. We were talking about fantasy football, and she has played fantasy football a few years.
His wife, Misty, knows fantasy football.
Yeah, she got, as she says, she got suckered into a fantasy football league one year. She hasn't played in several years. She just likes to roll her eyes at my house when our family is watching football and me and my son, and we're, screaming at the TV or whatever. But I asked her that question, and she says, oh, man, that player for her that she would never, ever draft again was Keenan Allen. And it's amazing how the same person, because I was like, I will always draft Keenan Allen. That dude he was money for a long, long time.
Always.
But she drafted him one year, and he tore his ACL week 1. But it's funny how that can leave a bad taste in your mouth, just like Ben just said about Lamar Jackson. Leave a bad taste in his mouth. Well, he won't draft him this year. I'll take him in about the 10th round, and he's going to blow up again this year.
Exactly. That's normally how it works. You got to find these guys that will fall. Like Lamar Jackson last year, it was a playoff game to get the championship. I had, like I said, 8 teams last year. 6 were eligible for the championship. All you got to do is win one game. I got 0 in there. It was horrible. And Lamar Jackson was my last hope. And all he needed was 11 points. He already had 6.
That's automatic, right?
That's automatic. Guaranteed automatic. So what does he do? He pulls his hammy. Remember
I do.
And then but what I also didn't mention, I had Drake May on the bench who had 42 points that weekend. He's been my starter the last 4 weeks. But hey, it's Lamar Jackson. He's surely going to get 11 points and get that just by rushing. But that's how it goes. Who are your top 5 fantasy guys for this year, in your opinion? That's a tough one.
That is, and I really haven't looked at a lot of fantasy stuff this year. But in your top 5 fantasy guys, I feel like we could probably name off who the top 5 picks are. And honestly, kind of, we just talked about receivers or running backs. I think a lot of them are receivers.
I do too.
I think Puka and his trouble off the field, which obviously he'll be somebody I'll keep an eye on. If that trouble scares somebody, or he might get a
and he could
game
fall.
or 2 suspension, okay, exactly. I'll be right there waiting to catch him. Jamar Chase, he's always money. JSN, obviously, he'll be a top 5 pick this year.
He's easily going to.
So, but who's the number 1 running back for you this year?
Gibbs.
100%.
Yeah. I'm going after him this year, regardless.
Bijan and Gibbs. I think we just named probably the top 5.
Bijan.
I think we probably just named the top 5. Puka is kind of the wild card
sleeper. Your one sleeper.
Well, I can't tell you that. I have that on my pay website. You can follow me on that. I'm joking. Sleeper. See, that term sleeper, I think, is interesting, because what do you define as a sleeper? Is it somebody that's in a last 10 rounds of a draft?
I think a
or is it
sleeper can go anywhere between round 4 and 7 and produce as a number one.
as a number one?
As
Can
a
be
number
that.
one.
Can
Can
be the
produce as a number
JSN
one. Yes, agreed,
last year.
agreed.
JSN was a sleeper
Agreed.
last year. Oh, man. Let's see.
I've got one.
A sleeper. Who's yours?
Manungai
Who?
for the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to go up there. Man, Swift could be there too, but I feel like they're going to start pushing him. It's so hard to say though.
Maybe they do, man. Maybe
As a running
they
back,
do.
I wouldn't take him in the first round. I'm
No.
talking about like 5th, 6th. No, actually, you guys got to take him in the top 10. That's what you need to do.
That is what you need to do,
Yeah,
is have them take
absolutely.
Top. Man, I can't really think. I should have done more research about sleepers, but
Whatever pops in the top of your head.
man, I think an interesting player this year, and he's definitely not a sleeper just because he's a big name, and especially from the Cowboys. Man, I think there's a lot of value in CeeDee Lamb this year.
Oh, I agree.
I think that George Pickens, he's not going to repeat what he
Oh,
did last year.
I agree.
And now, but people are treating George Pickens like he's
the number
like,
one.
like he's Jamar Chase. and
Exactly.
He's not, man. There's a reason the Steelers got rid of him, and he's not going to produce like that. And I think there will be drafts, honestly, where you might have CeeDee and George Pickens taken in the same round.
Absolutely.
And that's
wild
to
That's
me.
wild.
That
Which
is-
I've only seen a person draft 2 of the same team a few years back. That was Grady, but he didn't get them in back-to-back. He didn't get them in the same round. But he
No,
took,
I got one at the end of the 4th and one at the beginning of the 5th.
which was
Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs.
oh my God.
And that
We
was
laughed.
the best. That's
I'm
the
not
best
gonna lie.
fantasy team you've probably ever
Absolutely, because those guys were easily 20 points each week apiece.
Yeah.
I think, if not more. I can't remember, but they were number one guy stats the entire year, except for a couple of weeks.
I lost one game that season, and that was the Vikings bye week.
Yeah.
When they were on
Oh,
bye.
the Vi. That's funny how
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah, it works. But
And then, had you win every year? Can you? How do you do this every year? You always finish at the top, or how does that go?
I try to finish at the top. I make the playoffs way more than I don't make
Absolutely,
the
you
playoffs.
do. I mean, I've finished dead last and first so many times.
Yeah.
But
I try to be consistent, and then
you're consistently in the playoffs.
yeah,
normally.
playoffs.
One of the upper tier teams.
Again, like we just said, once you get the playoffs, it's all just a wild card. That first and second round bye is huge because, man, you just miss a week where your guys could be on a down week, or you hit that big play. That big player who was a waiver wire guy. You just try to dodge those guys, but you just get to the playoffs, you're going to do better than not most of the time.
That's what I was thinking.
You're going to win money, and we like watching fantasy football, but we all love winning a little cash.
Absolutely.
All
the
of
cash
the
is
cash.
fun, but it's always you just want to be the winner. You know,
I
what
would
I mean?
bypass the cash just to be able to talk shit.
Absolutely, I agree
There's
too.
no doubt.
I agree. The cash is fun. We have some leagues. It's a little bit. I think it's heavier.
Yeah,
winning
it's-
like 3K pot. Give
Yeah,
or take.
3,000.
and-
We had at least 2 of those.
Yeah,
that
we do have 2. And but they're fun, man. But just being the winner of it is the main thing. You
Yeah.
you get a little bit of money. Who gives a crap? We waste plenty of that here and there. Everybody does.
We do. I got one more. Real quick on fantasy football, and this is just a little tip. Is especially on receivers, I like to do this. I like to on receivers. I like to pair a boom or bust guy with a floor guy, with a high floor. Somebody that's going to get you 15 points. You feel good, and he may. We can name players who are like that, but just consistent players. But then pair him with back in the day of Deshaun Jackson. Remember him?
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson get you 55 to 60 points
Yeah,
in a week,
exactly.
or he gets you 2.
Exactly.
But if you pair him with a guy who's
consistent, he can carry him.
yeah, and it goes with running backs too. But running backs, I really feel is just so scarce, man.
It is. You have to have at least. You really need 2 guys by
You do.
around probably the 6th, 7th round at the latest, and that's probably pushing it,
2,
to be
man.
honest.
I need to have
Yeah.
like 4 by the
Yeah, I
6th
know.
or 7th
I'm just
round.
saying, but it's if you don't have a starter in there by round 4, then you're probably going to have
yeah.
you're going to have some issues.
Yeah, just kiss that.
Because most leagues you got 2 starters at running back, and then you have the flex, but you at least have to have 2 of them starting.
Yeah, you don't get 2 running backs.
You're done.
Yeah,
man.
you're done. You can kiss that
Exactly.
money goodbye.
And then there's always somebody at some point that will be on the waiver wire. It's within probably the first 3 weeks that you can find a starter later.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going to find somebody who's been, oh man, they haven't done anything in 3 weeks, and we're going to have that one guy let them go.
Yep.
And then everybody's jumping on them. That's how it goes.
We'll be there.
All right, real quick, Grady's one of our sponsors of the BC show with Triumph Glass.
Triumph Glass.
Yeah,
I
and,
said that.
But I was going
Boy.
to say, how long you been doing this?
Man, I've been in the glass business for 26, 27 years now.
And how'd you get into that?
Get family. I had family member. My uncle, he actually ran a glass company in Dallas, and so he got me in the glass business back in '99. And then I've had my own since 2006. So this is 20 years I've had my own company. So
That's awesome.
it's
man.
good. Yeah,
That's
it's
a
good.
cool thing.
Yeah, we like it. It's been good to me.
And one question: who is the most famous person you've had to do a job for?
Shaq.
Yeah, I knew
Recently,
that. I
it was
heard
probably
that.
Shaq. I'm trying to think of who else famous people. We did some work for some Cowboys, but just linemen and stuff like that. Brady James back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Oh, yeah,
we did work
linebacker,
for him.
LSU.
And Andre Gerard, we did work for him. Center for the Cowboys.
The one that got he got stomped on the head.
Yeah,
right?
by
Cleveland.
no, Tennessee. That guy from Tennessee.
Hainsworth.
Hainsworth.
Andre Hainsworth.
Andre Hainsworth.
With that big old 16 or 17.
Yeah, just
scarred
stomped him
on
the
his
face.
forehead, man.
But he was a really nice guy. But yeah, Shaq, man, we just worked for him. He's a nice guy.
Good, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, Triumph Glass, one of our sponsors. We want to say thank you, and we appreciate that's made this possible. All right, now that we're back from showing a little bit of our sponsor,
Guess who's back?
Little picture.
Back again. We're back.
Oh, we're back. That's
We are
right.
back.
We got it.
We are back.
I think Grady's got some questions for me, I guess. So we're gonna try to get through that and see what happens.
Yeah,
I'm scared to even ask.
So before I walked
or
in here,
hear.
there were several people out here on the street, and I asked them a few questions. Like, what could I ask Ben today? To something that the inquiring minds of Wiley want to know. So here's the questions that I have, and I thought these were good. What's the favorite sports moment of your life?
Favorite sports moment?
Yes.
Like any sports?
Just whatever. I mean, if you may have 2 or 3. Like, what are some of
I got
the
a
favorite
couple.
things you just remember?
Favorite thing, I think one of the first ones, there's a couple, man. They're all up in there. My favorite sports moment is probably when the Dallas Cowboys won that first Super Bowl.
That was my number one.
Yeah,
That's my
was that
number
1992, man. That
Man.
was what a feeling watching them start when Jimmy came. When we were 1-15 to 7-9 to 11-5, we went to the playoffs. We lost to Detroit, and then the following year we go 13-3, excuse me, and then we win the Super Bowl. Man, that team was dominant.
That's
man.
funny. That's
was
what
awesome.
got brought up to me was that same thing. I will never forget that feeling that I had. Like, dang, I mean,
Yeah.
we won the Super Bowl, and and then the following years after that, it was just like I always felt like, man, we can't be beat.
Yeah.
We're that good.
Yeah.
Cowboys were that good.
There's people don't understand the dynasty, especially these young bucks now.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't understand like it was Kansas City, how they had that run the last few years on crack.
Yeah.
And combine it with the next best team. That's how good these Cowboys were. And we've watched a lot of football. The game now is not that much different than it was, 20, 25, 30 years ago. I mean, it's different. There's more passing and stuff now, but I mean, these guys were brutal and they were good. They were very. A lot of them could play back then. They could play now. From 1960, 1950, those guys couldn't play in the 90s or this.
Yeah, you see some of those
Exactly.
videos of those teams, those like Packer teams in the 60s.
Oh, my God.
I watched that. I was like, man, I swear, like Wiley East could beat.
Exactly.
Could beat that team.
I actually think I could play in 1930. To be
You
honest
might.
with you, I could at least be a lineman.
You
I
can
mean,
at
I
least
would
get your picture taken in black and white.
Exactly.
Like
Just
the
hold my
football
hand right
cards
there
and
with my little leather
look it
helmet
up.
on.
Yeah, you look
That's
good.
ridiculous.
But I agree with you, man. Those guys on the 90s teams were athletic, and one of those guys, man, we this probably been 10 years ago. Maybe not 10 years ago. We went out to California, and I went to Oxnard to training camp one year. My wife and my kids went out there, and Darren Woodson was there, and I mean, we were right on the fence, and he was there talking to everybody. Man, I've seen Darren Woodson here recently also. I swear that guy can still suit up.
Yeah,
man, he looked good. He looked like he could still get out there and lay the wood.
Darren Woodson's a stud.
He
man.
was a stud, man.
Another sports was when the Mavericks won. When was
Yes,
that? 2011. Can you believe it's been 15 years?
Yes.
But Dirk,
But
just
that was-
because of the team Dirk had, and I'm not to argue with people. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, man, they're in their class of their own. LeBron James, he's great. But to me, he's not Kobe, and he's not Michael Jordan. And I don't like Michael Jordan or Kobe. I'm not saying I dislike them. They're just not my favorite because I tend to stay away from what other people like a lot. I like doing my own thing.
As you
But
have
Dirk's
as you
run-
have a Peyton Hillis jersey sitting over there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And see, that's another thing we were talking about. I would skip around with fantasy. It's made me. I love the games of all the teams. Even though I have Dallas Cowboys my favorite, then I always have an outside team or whatever, which has always been Buffalo. I still love the game. So I wear different jerseys all the time. People will say, "Why are you?" I'm not representing anything. I'm just representing those players because I enjoy the sport so much. And another sports moment for me, one more, is actually I don't know if a lot of people know, I used to coach football quite a bit with youth and stuff, but winning that first one with the older kids in 2010, that puts that up there with the Super Bowl just because I actually got to be part of a work that took us to achieve that goal, which believe it or not, it was a pretty big deal back then, as we played a lot of other teams around the area, big, wide area in the Metroplex, and that was a cool feeling watching these kids win something that we had a part of helping them achieve that. So that's one memory that's logged into my brain of feelings too. That is in there. I've got some feelings for that one. So
you get emotional and stuff. Like you start talking about the stuff that you've had your hands on, and
it makes a big
got
difference.
In there makes
man.
a big difference.
Man. No matter what level, that was a cool thing, man. That's one of the things I still think about from time to time. I guess that's just it's a good feeling. It's like the Cowboys. That feeling of your team winning. It's hard, man. It's hard to give that. I can't even explain it. It's a hard feeling to explain.
It is. I do remember that, and at that time, you and I were younger in '92. I mean, we were at that age where, man, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was.
I attended the parade.
Ooh.
When my buddies got hit in the head,
that was
and his hat got stolen.
That's funny. I bring that up to some of these people in their little younger generation about that parade, and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Man, that parade was wild.
It was wild. It all broke out at McDonald's, and we were just at McDonald's. And I'm not going to lie to you, it was a little rough around there.
Scary.
Well, I had that background, Big Bad Garland, but I grew up in Pleasant Grove, so it was. Oh man, this was a sight to see, and then people were running wild. Everybody, man. We even were when we were going back to our car and we got our hat back. Tony Casillas, literally probably from me to the wall, was running by. He was actually jogging, and he had his cowboy boots on. No lie, and he was kind of going. He was getting away from the crowd. He said, "Nope, that's it."
So you brought up Big Bad Garland. I want to talk about that for just a quick second. Man, what's so great about Garland Owl football? What's the deal?
Nothing.
Okay,
it's nothing.
Man,
I sucked, so that's okay.
But
that wasn't me.
Seriously, I never got it, man. And I know you probably have some viewers here that are Garland, but my wife, she graduated from Garland, and it's all I heard about for forever. Garland Owls. Yeah. State champions. Whatever. I mean,
they won in '99.
They won
My job is out of school.
Championship in '99. I think they beat like Katy or something.
They beat
that was because half their team was suspended or something. I mean, they probably
maybe a few. Who knows? It was a good win. My buddy who was a part of that coaching, it was his first year coaching, Brian Polk. He sent a text, so I know he's watching this, so he may have a little say to that one.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Brian, comment and just give me the quick rundown why Garland Owl is, such a great thing. Because my kid, he played football in Saxe, and man, I hate to tell you, wasn't that great, Garland? Wasn't that great, man?
Yeah, the GISD now, though, I mean, with the school districts of the way the teams are, it was honestly, I think you can trust me a little bit on this. The talent pool was a little better 25 years ago, even 20 years ago, even 15.
Well, you obviously
Saxe's great.
Yeah, but you also, you didn't have Saxe. You didn't have Saxe, and then Rowlett was brand new.
Rowlett was brand new. So. They still weren't there, but Lakeview was actually a pretty powerhouse back then. Even South Garland, can you believe this? South Garland was really, really good. Who are no longer the Colonels because some reason that's a bad thing to be a Colonel.
Titans.
They're Titans, baby.
Yeah.
And remember the Titans? We're not remembering these Titans because they are freaking horrible. They actually got a little better last year, but they're not good. I feel bad. They have nobody there. Yeah, that area is not a great area. I mean, who wants to go there?
It's not. And I mean, another thing. Again, I didn't watch a ton of games last season, but the 4 years before that, I definitely watched a lot of games. Man, Wiley East is the team to beat in Wiley, man, and Wiley, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened there.
I don't either. It seems like the last 15 years, when I'll know a little bit of this with Wiley East. They've always got skill position. They always had good linemen, interior linemen, and whatnot. But the skill position's always been more favorable for them. And Wiley was always the interior lineman. Last year, Wiley's quarterback is actually pretty good, and they actually have a good running back.
Okay.
But Wiley East, the last few years, I mean, it's been like this till Wiley jumped to 6A and Wiley East went to 5A. They still should have been playing each other, but we had there was differences out here. There was excuses, but I won't say exactly what went on because we all know I know. But we're going to leave it at that. Wiley East has just kind of jumped in front of them right now.
Yeah.
Why, I don't know. It's just is where it is, but they're close. Wiley is kind of creeping right back there again.
Okay,
and I'm not discrediting the program. I don't mean it like that because at heart I still love Wiley Pirates, always do. And I like Wiley East. I always like to say they're both my teams.
Everybody has down years,
They do. It happens. But I think this year you actually may see them leap up a little more. But but the powerhouses in this district is Wiley East, Wiley, and Saxe.
Yeah.
And then it leaves open for the fourth.
Yeah, and I definitely think Wiley has a much better shot of getting back to, top of that district than some of those GISD schools.
Oh yeah, they
Some
were.
of those
Yeah.
GISD schools. I don't know. I don't know how many classifications you'd have to drop them down to.
Quite a bit.
compete.
Quite a
To
5A
compete.
won't help some of them, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
I think
you know?
one. Was it Naaman that dropped down? to
Naaman
5A?
dropped down, and Naaman's actually not horrible.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're
They're
actually
not.
okay. I was actually surprised on that one. But let's talk about Garland from years ago. I think it was just because the area, that's just where a lot of people picked to go back in the day. Like, I'm going to imagine most people want to go to Saxe and the Garland ISD because it's choice of school. You can go wherever you want. Back in the day, it was pretty much everybody had their areas where you lived. You went to those schools, but people were going into Garland, and Garland went on a run. I don't really know the exact, but I want to say like 15 of 18, 17 years in the playoffs, and it all started when my class was seniors. I wasn't playing. I decided to skip school all the time, and I just didn't want to play. I was lazy as hell. That's all it is. And then we started that run for the
Some
playoffs.
things
Never changed. And that was 1993. Was that year, and we lost the opening round. I think it was 16-0 to Plano. I remember that game, and then Plano ended up winning state that year, which was, at least you can say you lost to the state
Yeah,
champion.
always.
Well, let's bring this one up.
Okay.
Your big bad school, which I couldn't remember 2 weeks ago, was it Gun Barrel City, right? Well, that's like a city of 18 people or something, correct?
I think
can't
it's
remember.
24 now.
It's 24.
It's
So did
24
you
now.
play there? How was that?
No,
Is it-
I didn't play much football, and it actually went to Maybank. That's where I went.
Maybank,
to school
okay.
at. But it's right there, same thing. Gun Barrel City doesn't have its own
Maybank,
school
that's
district.
where our coach
Joe Martin
went
came
there.
from.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
where
the coach.
Yeah, exactly.
At Maybank.
He changed Garland around.
He
And that-
changed Maybank. Maybank was actually.
That's right. They were good because he came straight to Garland. I always
Yeah.
forget Joe went there.
Yeah, he went there, and when I was in this, one thing that I think is funny to watch the growth of towns around here is, I remember when I think I was a freshman in high school, Maybank made the playoffs and played South Lake Carroll in the 3A playoffs
Wow.
in 1992 or whatever.
That's when
that
South Lake was getting good.
Oh yeah,
Man,
that
they were
was
amazing.
the rise.
That 3A, I remember
And
that.
but South Lake always amazes me at how they never skip a beat going from 3A to 4A
Yeah, it made
to
no-
5A
it made
to
no
6A.
difference.
It did not matter. They just were
I
powerhouses.
can't remember, but I think they won like 3 or 4 straight titles in 3A, didn't they? Then
lot,
they made that
yeah.
jump, and then it was 4A.
And everybody was
same
like,
thing.
"Oh, that'll be the kiss
Yeah,
of death." For
no.
them. No, it wasn't.
They had that program built, and then just like what they said in Maybank, when Joe Martin came over, he came over in it would have been the 1992 season. That's when I was a
Yeah.
sophomore, and he changed. No, it was been my junior year. Excuse me.
93 or
It was
4, somewhere around
92 season coming in 93, so he was there. Sorry, it was 92 season for sure.
Gotcha.
And then he changed, and that's where my buddy Brian, he was quarterback there, and him and Joe have been pretty close. Actually, work together now at the Texas High Schools Association. So Brian, big change with the way Garland went with that one too.
You know something about high school football? We're talking about it, and I do think like the South Lake dynasty. You know how that was built. There's these other teams around here too that we've watched do this same thing. They go from watch them win 2A state championships, and they jump to 3A, jump to 4A. I've always said this. I think one of the biggest things on that, and you find this out in East Texas too, that I think helps those programs. It's usually a one school town.
Yeah.
You don't split it up, but it's a one school town, and the other is, man, those kids, it may change now, but those kids who, by the time they're a senior in high school, they've been running that same offense since they've been in 6th grade.
Yep.
Or even their peewee teams run the same
It makes a huge difference.
offense that the varsity teams run. And yeah, you don't think much of it because you'll watch it. You'll see it every year on state championship weekend. You will watch a game. I don't care what the classification is. Say you start at 2A and go up. You will see two teams that you'll go, just looking at them on the screen, looking at them on paper, like, man, this team is way better, way more athletic, and the other team just blows their doors off because they're so disciplined and they've been running that same offense and same defense for their whole life. And they know they don't have to worry about the plays. They
know them, man.
They know everything.
It's like walking.
It is. They know their job.
When I started the league out here in 2005, we had a hard time getting started with it was a little more 21 years ago. It was a little bit older out here. It was a smaller town at the time, and they didn't like new people coming in and doing stuff. I was actually coaching in Rockwall of all places, and at the YMCA, and I was over there scrimmaging other competitive teams. They're select teams. And I saw the difference in it, and then I had the opportunity to come out here and start that, and that's what I did. And I was always trying to connect with the high school for a little while. Now I didn't really do that till around 2008, and in 2009 I started having our players. I was doing a 7-on-7 for the high school and stuff, or especially the junior highs. I was getting to run that. I was starting to get a little connection with things, and then our kids started running the same stuff in 2009 and on. Made a huge difference as they jumped into junior high because they could double up for us and going into high school. And our kids were flowing, especially on day one. If you've been off all year, or you go into the next season, and you can your offense is already installed on day one
you're so far ahead of the game.
Yeah, I mean you're already looking good. Now you're tweaking everything, and it's amazing. And you see this through these towns.
You do,
and they just grow. And I think Highland Park had their teams were running this stuff too.
They do. Highland Park is a great example of that. They for years did that same exact thing.
Makes sense. Get them while you're young.
Yeah, it wasn't just the middle school teams running there's obviously the varsity teams running way fancier stuff, but the base
is there.
The same.
It's your verbiage, and your language gets more. It's
when that
easy.
play's called into that huddle, they know exactly what it is.
Exactly.
And they don't have to think about it. And they run that in Pee Wee too.
Yep.
The Pee Wee teams in some of these smaller towns, they run that exact same thing. I mean, there's some teams. I'm trying to remember which team it is, but they're in the state championship. It seems like every year, and I think they're a 5A team, and they run that veer or whatever that is.
I can't even think which one it is off the top of my head.
They run that veer offense, and I think they've played South Oak Cliff a couple of times. And man, you just watch that offense. It's so weird. It's so different than the spread or anything like that. And me and Jackson, my son, will be watching it. And, we go, man, that would be so hard to play against if you're not used to playing it.
Absolutely.
You've been playing spread all season or playing against teams that play spread. And these guys, they break the huddle and they snap the ball within
it's crazy.
Like 0.2 seconds from getting up there.
It makes a huge difference because everybody has an assignment on that.
They do.
I mean, which everybody does on every offense, but theirs is just boom, boom, boom.
And it's different. It's so different.
And then if you've played the spread 15 out of 16 teams and you go to this, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. And the state championship game is not a good time to run into it.
Real quick, I was going to ask you because I was going to talk about this.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite places around this area to eat Italian food?
Man, I like Olive Garden. It's good.
Olive Garden.
I got some gift cards from Olive Garden being given to me.
Olive Garden.
But man, if I had to pick one, especially in Wiley, Napoli's is my go-to.
Napoli's. Yeah, that's one of our sponsors.
You know
what? I have. I've been there a little bit. It's I've been over there eating there the last few years, and Napoli's did sponsor us this year for the BC show.
Really?
And, yeah,
you got money out of it?
I don't know how, but we did.
Okay. What's the guy's name that runs that?
Well, it's a new guy that took over.
It's
been good the last year. Yes, Gazi.
Gazi, yeah.
Gazi's.
It's always been good, but yeah, the last couple of years exceptional, man. I don't know what they're doing.
Gino. Yeah, once Gino, we went over to
Gino.
Remember Gino?
Yeah. He's at Starwood.
Yeah, he's at Starwood. That's right.
Cafe,
yeah, he
which
left.
is really good. Gazi must be over there helping him with that.
I think he is. Yeah, we had to throw that out there. We just do it. Gino, Mayor. What is he? Mayor Pro Tim?
Vice President, Mayor Pro Tim.
He's running Wiley.
Once removed or something like that.
I don't even know. We're always trying to figure him out. He's in a lot of our fantasy leagues too, and we hate losing to him. I lost to him twice in 2 leagues last year. How? I don't know.
Well, I know how because he sits at that bar all day and watches.
He does. He sits there.
Or, NFL Network.
We let this guy beat us. No, at all. Gino, we're just going to say he is one of our sponsors, and he did help us get this, or help me get this going, and we do appreciate it.
Go to Napoli's, go to Starwood. It's both delicious. Really, really good. And good people.
And Gino makes you feel at home every time you go.
Yes,
man, that's one thing about that drew me in when I first met him in 2013, December of 13, before he opened in 14 and took it over. Yes, I like to ramble, but I'm telling the facts of this. My wife's back here making faces. We want to say thank you for helping us with this, and go see Gino at Napoli's or Starwood. And his brother Gazi is there, and Gazi's doing a fabulous job. All right, and there was our second sponsor that we're featuring. And again, check out all our sponsors on the website. It's www.thebcshow.com. All of them are on there. They're all great. And again, if you reach out to them if any of these things fit something you're looking for. And we're going to get close to wrapping this up. One thing that I wanted to bring up, I forgot, is this is our Father's Day edition. We'll be off next week, and I wanted to bring this up. Grady didn't know this yet. I actually think Grady is an excellent father. Him and Misty is a great mother, too, so I don't want to not say that. But it's Father's Day weekend, so Misty can take a back seat, letting her know that. But he has raised 2 kids. Me and my wife have always said this. They have done an excellent job with both them kids, man. They're very respectful, hard worker, funny. Shelby's just like her mom. I feel like looks just like her, and then Jackson's just like Grady. And the humor and stuff is it's pretty neat to watch them grow because I've seen them since they were little. And we had to bring this up a minute ago. Shelby was a kicker on one of our teams, which was awesome. One of the only girls that's ever played. There was one other, but she did good playing for us. So just tell me how were you successful in raising your kids? In your opinion,
Man,
that's a good question.
yeah,
right?
that is a good question. How you successful? I mean, I think the key is consistency. Man, it is. If I had to say one word about parenting, it's not easy. It's very hard. It's the hardest job. It's stressful. It wears you out, and it doesn't come with an instruction manual.
No.
And you hit the ground running, and you just got to do the best you can. And that's kind of how I am with. I think with a lot of people, man, we're just doing the best we can. Yeah. It's our first run at this whole thing. I mean, at anything, life.
I'm still learning,
and especially parenting. But man, consistency is the key to me, and showing up, man. Just be there for your kids, man. If they've got something going on, especially an extracurricular something at school or a sport, or they're in a band, or they're at a cheer or a drill team or a choir, anything, or a whatever they're into. And there's so many things now that kids can do, extracurricular activities, man. Just show up. Just be there, man. Just be there. Every kid needs somebody. They need to know somebody's in their corner.
Absolutely.
And that's the key.
That's a huge deal.
That is
one thing with our daughter and son. We I don't think we missed a whole lot of anything.
Yeah.
And we did show up because I remember when I was playing little. My dad. I'm not saying anything negative. I felt like I'd look out there, and my mom made as much as she could, and it was always she was loud and obnoxious, or like, "Hey, Ben, run!" Even though it wasn't even I wasn't supposed to run. But I'll tell you what, it was a good feeling when you look out there and you see the people that you live with that care for you. That's a big deal. But like Grady and his family, I do believe they're very close, and I love that they still get together. There's a lot of people when they're this age, they kind of disperse a little bit and don't come around.
It's human nature.
It is.
It's human nature, and my kids are the same way. Trust me, they got other stuff that they're doing, but we try to make a point, and let's hang out for a little bit. And
yeah,
I mean, I always remember back when I was, say, a teenager. I mean, yeah, the last place I wanted to be was hanging out with my parents.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I'm not. My kids want to go do other stuff. Go do other stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
But always come back and circle back to that family time. And yeah, it was like Ben's daughter, Kaylin. I mean, felt like I watched her grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, his daughter and my daughter are the same age.
Yep.
And
she's a nut job.
They had a duel on a soccer field one time.
Oh, yeah, I remember
Remember
that.
that?
Yeah, Kaylin was sick. I remember that. And
Oh,
Shelby
yeah.
elbowed her in the stomach.
Yeah, right.
I'm not going to lie. Kaylin was pretty solid, but Shelby definitely had her beat in soccer. But she was sick. I came out first time ever talking crap at this game. We showed up to the game. Grady's sitting there. Oh, what are y'all doing here?
That's the first time I met you, I think.
No.
I had not known you very long.
No, not long, but we knew.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, I can't remember, but it's just a little bit. I'm like, oh my God, Grady's gonna run me to the ground on this one. I looked out there, it was already like 3-0. Kaylin's out there, oh my tummy hurts. I was so pissed.
He was
I
mad.
talked all this crap, man. I thought her to run her over and do what she'd been doing. Worst game she's ever played. But Shelby was the better soccer player by far. But my God. Grady 1, Ben 0. That was the first score there.
But I've never brought it up since then.
Bull crap. You absolutely have to. I'm going to bring something up, but I have nothing to bring up. Damn it. He got me on the spot on that one. He did get me.
He does. Ben talks about this, especially in fantasy football. He talks about talking shit because, like, I do talk a lot of trash.
Oh,
man. Mean, I do.
Yeah, but if people don't know Grady, when they walk in, I'm like, oh my God, here we go. Grady can come off very offensive or whatever, but in all honesty, he just does it to everybody. It doesn't matter. It's always within fun. And I'm going to tell you this, and I've always said this to people. People don't know you. Grady's probably one of the best people I know. I'm not just saying that.
Oh, man.
Absolutely is. And when I was in Shannon, do I bring she's back there on the camera. I'm not supposed to say this. But when I was in the hospital, one person called me. Who was it? It was Grady. And then when Grady was sick 3-4 years ago, I can't remember. Was it 4?
5 years ago.
God, 5 years ago. He was very sick in the hospital. It was back to school day, and I probably had 16, 17 people waiting in here. And I saw my phone ring. It was FaceTime. And I looked over there, and I turned my head, and I was like, "Oh, that was Grady calling." And I knew he was in the hospital. I stopped everything to make sure I took that phone call, though, because that was important. They were very sick. He was very sick. I was in the hospital for a procedure. He was really sick. So I always wanted to extend that courtesy. Like, I'm going to answer this call when he calls.
Well, I appreciate
and I always
that, man.
answer when Grady calls. If I don't answer right away, I call him right back. That's important. But he is a good father. He's a good man. But people come off. They get a little, oh, who's Grady King, man? It's just great. It's all in fun.
It is funny. And
Grady treats you like he knows you.
That's the truth. And, I mean, my wife will tell you that same thing. Like, I'm an acquired taste.
Yeah.
I am. But
who's not?
I just have a good time. And I do tell people all the time, man, if I'm not jacking with you, it's because I don't like you.
Exactly.
If I'm jacking with you, I like you, and we're having a good time. And some people don't know how to take that.
No.
But it is what it is. But it's always fun. And usually if I find somebody that they do start getting a little irritated, I just stop. Like, just joking. You
ease it a little bit, but not much. He'll keep going. But, that's what I always say. If especially with the guys I know and stuff, there's a group of them. If we're not messing with each other, then we don't care. That's how I see it.
We don't.
And we're a little ruthless at times. We'll say some stuff that women will put their head down, like, "Why did you say that?" We don't. That's just what we do. And then it's just important. But again, Grady, he is a good father, and he's very good at fantasy football. I always want to say he supported me in this, which was awesome. And
I'm glad to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is awesome.
And I'm glad he was on. We're actually going to have him on a few times. I got to fit around his schedule. Some reason he's got like 19 homes, travels around the U.S. during the summer. I think it was just in Arkansas. I think he owns a quarter of it. I think he's running for governor in 3 years. Actually, Gino's going to help him get going on that one.
The governor of Arkansas. That's what I need to.
Hey,
that's
absolutely.
what I need to do.
It's okay. I'll come dig up dirt. You have none, but I'm sure you have a little bit. Well, we all do. And there was
we all do.
One more thing I wanted to think. Where was that one team, the 49ers? What do you think about them?
Is that from San Francisco?
San Francisco. The Bay.
Man,
the Bay.
One of the most overhyped teams of all time.
All time.
Seriously, I mean, it's the most overhyped team. Honestly, I hate that team because of one person.
It's only one person.
And it's funny because there are years.
One person can do that.
There are years, especially some of the last few years. At my house, we will have this discussion. I think my daughter Shelby said, "Man, I want to root for the 49ers. Like, I want to root for them." I mean, Kittle. I want to root for Kittle. I want to root for.
How can you not like Kittle?
I mean, even Brock Purdy. Take that. I mean, Debo. I love Debo Samuel.
Oh, I do too.
Debo Samuel is one of my favorite players to watch. I mean, how can you not root for Brock Purdy, man? This guy came in and took that job. And
last pick of the draft.
Yeah,
right?
last pick, and then
you don't do that.
Has made all this money. I mean, you can't help but root for that guy. But yes, I can help root for that guy because he plays for the freaking 49ers.
Because of one person.
Because of one person. Jeff Silver.
One person. He can ruin it.
Yeah.
He loves to do that, though.
Yeah,
He talks all this crap, but if I recall, who's won the last Super Bowl, Dallas or the 49ers?
I believe it's the Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
But he always says it's been 30 years.
30 years.
It's been a long time. It really has been a
30
long
years.
time.
It has. It's insane.
At least you and I mean, you're from Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm from Dallas, too. We cheer for the Cowboys.
We do.
I feel like my basketball team of choice is the Mavericks.
It is the same with me.
I love the Rangers.
I do, too. I'm not
Dallas Stars.
Love the
when
Stars.
Stars are playing, I root for Dallas teams.
Wait, do you root for the Dallas Wings?
Sure. If I'm rooting for
I kind of
WNBA,
do.
I will. Of course.
You watch that all the time, or
I've got season pass. Yeah.
Do you?
I got season pass. Yeah. Yeah. So I root for them. But yeah, like this one person we're talking about, man. I think he went to San Francisco one time because his parents got lost or something.
Yeah, I can't
headed
remember.
Back to Dallas or something, and then now all he does.
Now he's the 40.
Now you talk about obnoxious.
Bang.
I could be obnoxious, but this guy.
Yeah, the bang bang Niner gang.
Bang
man,
bang
that's the word.
Niner
bang
gang,
bang
man.
Niner gang.
And I went to San Francisco a few years ago, man. I tried looking for people that knew him.
Dude, I need to put
Nobody.
those videos out that you did.
Nobody knew him.
You asked like 5 people at the fair.
Yeah.
You went to San Francisco. Several people on the street.
No
one knew who Jeff Silver was.
He claimed that he was born in some hospital in San Francisco. I went to that hospital, to the desk, the front desk directory. Was there a Jeffrey Silva born here in whatever year he was born? And she looked it up. No, sure wasn't.
Nope.
So,
in fact, Grady brought the proof right here. It's not born from San Francisco.
There's the paper right there.
We got it right there. We
notarized.
got proof.
It's notarized.
Bam, we got it. Jeff
So,
Silva, you've been busted, buddy.
He's a
We're
fake.
going to figure out where you're from, and
He's
it's
a
not
fake.
San Francisco.
No.
We're going to start bringing it. We're going to do a little more investigation work on this, but we will find out where you're from.
I'll do that.
And one more thing, I had a prediction of the Cowboys going, what was it?
12-5 right there.
12-5. I couldn't remember.
Man.
What do you think about
So
that?
this real quick, I'm just going to glance down this.
And I'm watching the College World Series right
Yeah.
now. That's why I keep looking up,
So,
guys.
man, I am a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
I am. But man,
that's a little stretch. Isn't it?
it's hard. It's hard these days, man. I see 7 and 10 at the best.
Okay, I'm not. Can't argue with
it's.
that. I'm a little,
and I want to root for them. And man, I hope they do good. But I have been burned so many times
Agreed.
by the Cowboys.
What do you think though of Christian Parker, the new DC? From what you're hearing,
I like it.
Because I do too.
I definitely like it. I think that's what we needed.
We needed it years
we
ago.
We needed some youth.
Yeah, we need a lot of youth
on the coordinator position. And I say 7 and 10. Would it surprise me if they make the playoffs, sneak in as a wild card? I don't think they win that division, but get in as a
Eagles
wild
up
card
front on that one. You think?
I do. I think the Redskins are going to be.
do.
Sorry, Commanders.
Commandos,
you have Redskins
baby,
written
yeah.
over. They're always
I know,
the
right?
Redskins to me, but I do think the Commanders are going to be better.
I do too.
Than they were
They had
last
a little
year.
bit of a down year.
I think
last
the
year.
Eagles and Commanders are going to be the two teams to beat in
The
that.
Giants, man, don't sleep on the Giants.
Don't
man.
sleep on the Giants either. It's funny. I really do think if we had all 4 teams and some dice here and just rolled it, it wouldn't surprise me on how any of that shakes up. I mean, the Eagles, I think with that head coach, I still think there's trouble there, even though they got rid of A.J. Brown.
Oh, absolutely.
That guy is a loose cannon, and I think that team could quit on him. They get out to
agree. I'm not a
1
fan
and
of
5
him.
start, man. I think they could can him.
Absolutely.
And
There's other coordinators on there, stuff that I think you could do a better job to finish out for the year. with
Yeah,
them.
no, I
but
agree.
agree.
I wouldn't be surprised at how any 4 of those teams end up in the division.
So
this year.
12 and 5, you think that's
a little stretch,
That's
yeah.
a best case scenario. Probably
Yeah.
that's probably above best case scenario.
That is, I think 10 and 7. I think if the Cowboys go 10 and 7 this year, I think fans would have to be. I mean, genuinely, if we're just not
What were we last
blowing
year?
smoke.
7 and 10? Was that
So-
about
something
right?
like
I think
that.
I don't even know. Again,
We had a tie, didn't we? tied against the Packers.
It is so 7-9.
7-9 and 1. I think
7-9
is what
and
we were.
1.
But I think 10 and 7. If you really asked Cowboys fans and weren't just blowing smoke, I think they'd be happy with that. Take 10 and 7, get in the playoffs as a wild card. I think you would take that.
Agreed. I
day
think
long.
so too.
But I think even that is best case
This is a
scenario.
stretch. As I'm looking through my notes, I had something else I can't even remember. But yeah, I know I may have been drinking a little too much on that one.
You drink the juice. You
I
drink the
do.
Cowboy juice.
And I try not to. I've said this. I've actually the last few years I've actually had the Cowboys on, and then I would watch something else for a little bit and turn them off and put on Red Zone just to keep up with fantasy. But I have drifted a little bit from the Cowboys the last few years where I'm not. Like, it's okay. They're losing. I'm emotionally not attached right now. The last
I have
3
been
years.
that way for the past
It's been 3 for
4
me.
or 5 years for me that I have
It's taken me a little
the
longer.
same way. And that's funny you bring that up because I think that's exactly how I realized I'm not as attached to them.
As
Emotionally
we used to,
attached
yep.
I was is when I'll change it. If they're down by 2 touchdowns, I'm like, they're not coming back from this.
It would ruin the week for me sometimes, and now it's like, I mean, I still get a little upset, but like, I think last year we were on a losing streak, and I was like, well, let's just keep losing because I always want the better draft.
Amen.
I'm
Me
not
too.
asking to throw games, but I don't mind
If
that.
we're
Like,
gonna get beat, let's just go ahead and get beat.
let's
We're
just
good.
lose. I mean, it doesn't matter. 7-9 or 4-12. I don't really care. 4-13. I don't care.
I don't either.
I really have that higher pick, but that's how that goes. I was going to say this though, and I want to thank you for coming on today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for
Yeah,
having
it's
me.
been fun. Again, this is all work in progress. This is our first guest, and having Grady on actually made me feel at ease once he came in here. Just because we could probably do this for 4 hours. It wouldn't even
could.
matter. And I had all these notes. I didn't really even need them. I just kind of threw them out the window. But in 2 weeks, we're going to have somebody else on. It's going to be Clayton Mason. Who's also a Lone Star Contracting. They remove trash removal and everything, so hit him up if you ever need him. And we'll have him on, like I said, McKinney Fireman. And we'll go into that a little bit and whatever other sports we got on. And I want to tell Grady, thank you. It's been fun having him today. My wife's sitting over there. I don't know what she's on, Snapchat or whatever she does over there, but I think she's ready to go. It's been a long one. Is that time? We out of time? Or we have another 30 minutes? I'm just
Phone
kidding.
died.
And I want to
No.
say, I wanted to just tell Grady again, thank you for coming. I know
Yes, sir.
he actually has a busy schedule, and we had to make this work around him.
We
But
got
we'll
it.
hit him up again here in maybe in a month or so.
Man, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for having me. This is an awesome setup, and I'm excited to see how it goes, man. It's going to be great.
Alrighty, thank you. It was
All
good
right,
seeing
man.
you.
See you, Ben.
Yes, sir. And that's the BC show. And remember to do something good this week.